this meeting this month, and an update to the system. We have REDCap 7.0, and as you can see, it's a little bit different. We're going to have a menu bar up top. Your home projects, most of you won't have this new option. The help, the training videos, this option for regular users, and definitely don't have this for Control Center. Profile through here, log out. Right. My project spawn looks the same, pretty much. I believe that the icons here changed, and a little range that's in development. And this checkbox means that it's in production. So that's one way to identify project they have. So far. So I want to talk about real briefly about the add edit records, or let's say record through here, and using the scheduling module. Can somebody tell me what's the difference? No? Okay. To enable the scheduling module, a schedule is going to be generated. Right here, it tells you the record. When you button, it's the potential scheduling, depending on the days difference between each appointment or something like that, or event in this sense. The record has not been created until you click this button right here. Use the scheduling module, right? So that means it's going to appear in your calendar here in REDCap. So as you see, it'll appear. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Cool. When we get records through here using this button, just gonna save real fast and exit. Create a record. Record has been created, so it says right here. However, if we go to the calendar, it would show. To fix that, you have to go to the scheduling module, choose things that have not been scheduled, generate the schedule for it. Create schedule to save it. If we go under, it shows right there. Makes sense? In your scheduling module, I highly recommend that you use a scheduling module. Don't add records through here because you're going to do double work. You're going to create records, and then you have to go back to the scheduling module, assign a date to that record. So keep in mind that every record that you created using this button will not be a scheduling as should. So it's a great idea to, if you edit records, check right here under scheduling module, and then check right here. Also for existing, if you and edit schedule, you can actually edit any of the previous created records here. So where to just date right here. I'm just going to change it to today. And then you can change the date. So records, some buttons here. A bit. We have save and exit form. This is a new button. So we don't save now. And then here we have save and stay. Save and go to the next form. And save, mark it complete. A little bit different now. But are they also, those buttons are right here on the top? And so that's that. Anything so far? No. Okay, cool. So this is a new feature that's going to change REDCap, or I'm going to go to record 3. Pull this first. We have the same statuses as before: incomplete, unverified, and complete. Many statuses. Response and different statuses. If you like repeating outlets here, and then plus in here. Yeah. So it means that you can repeat forms. What does this mean? So, for example, for demographics, I don't need to repeat this form. I'm going to capture it once. So I'm going to, Belver test, and the next form, with vital signs right here. So I'm going to put, let's say, capture the vital signs for last month, right? I'm going to say that. So I didn't put the calculation, and that's fine. What I'm going to do here and stay, or let's mark complete instead. So see here, demographics, which I filled out, and then the vital signs, that I filled out right now, and then has a plus sign right here. As you can hear, it says repeating instruments. So vital signs is a repeating instrument. You see instruments here unless you fill out the first instance of that instrument. And I'll do an example for all these two. But if I click here, we can new, or we click that plus sign. And quick note also, you're in the record, record ID 3. Here you have an option of downloading file of all uploaded documents, download PDF, lock all instruments, events on the instruments, rename the record, and delete the record. So this change, right? It used to be in each form, and now it changed because this is a. So let's press the plus sign here. Do 1/2017 and 150. Let's see, 51, 32 maybe. So I'm gonna save and exit the form. So right here, as you can see, there's a blue, and that means many statuses, because the first I completed it, the other one I just left it as incomplete. So that's what it means. Right here, if you see right here, it shows 2 records for the same form. So what it means is that you don't, before you had to kind of code or have like 10 instruments, science instruments or events that you could capture, like vital signs or medication or ease. Now you need them, you get new one. So let's see another one. Right. So if we go to the record, please spell A real fast. And whatever here. Stream. Let's see. All right, if we go to record, signs, further in this first event. Go to the report. I'll show up. It's no best. So let me go to that record that I created, which is number 3. That's right here. So as you can see, there's only 1 row of the graphics. So right here, everything is grayed out. Right? And 3 records of files that I created. As you see right here, that the graphics is graded out. Right where we're in the vital signs, it's filled out. It's a 2 studies created. Event. So the event will tell you one will tell you what event it belongs to. Questions so far?
Not for me.
Lorena? Awesome. Chance is going to work on the mobile app as well. What else should I cover regarding this? This should work on any form. You just need to specify where. We'll take care of that. Setup. When you tell us, we'll take that. Another thing right now is that we are enabling the auto numbering of records. That's very important, actually, because the system generates that number. So it won't appear in your search. So will help us kind of if records been deleted or anything like that, then we can go and check the logs. But by default, we enable this because it's real important. And for all studies, then we kind of request that you have your own to specific study. One other thing I'll mention, let's check if that's an administrator or a regular user. I'm pretty sure it's the administrator. And this goes more for the indica. You can create snapshots of amendments.
Oh.
What does it mean? It means like if I create a snapshot on 12/22. So if I go here, I have the dictionary.
Oh.
When I of 12/22. So if I were to create a snapshot right now. That was on 1/11. So if I care, I should have all the history. So 12/22, I created the project. Then an hour later, can snapshot of the dictionary. I would highly recommend that you use this whenever verification, so that you have a way to go back or see what changed. Because believe so, if we go to the log, it'll tell you that you changed the instrument, but it won't tell you which field or to what. One way to kind of
instead of like we manually download the data dictionary, we can just take the snapshot and it will automatically be saved and we can download whenever we need, right?
Exactly. it'll be stored in your project, you know, so you don't have to go anywhere or you don't have to make copies in your computer. They'll be right here. And space, we have a bunch of space, so no worries about that. Cool. Right. Another thing that I'm working on, and want you to share off. I'm doing a simulation, so I'm working with EMR and trying to get this done. But it's a dynamic data pull from EMR. So basically, he pulls out data from EMR. It's already set up, and so I got this, I guess, to work. I'll talk to Dr. Alex's team and EMR, and we can integrate to any of your all's projects. So, simple example is that we're capturing demographics and labs. So I have a new record here. And then I'm going to provide a medical record. Let's say a 10. REDCap is going to fetch the data off of the EMR, the data record. And this is a simulation. Found this patient with that number and all those values. So I'm saving that. Again, it just shows the data, you know, first name, last name, gender, and date of birth. And it's the record's been generated. So that and fill it out. Yeah. But the data, the dynamic data pull does. You have to have the field to the more. So as soon as you put the R number, it'll generate the rest.
A quick question.
Yeah.
Is getting the information from Texas Tech EMR or from Cerner?
Tech. Well, simulation, no. No. But in theory, it'll be pulled from Texas Tech EMR. Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Just sure that everyone's approved to ask EMR for that specific study, but that's
right.
Very cool.
You're right, and labs also. You know, pull. I'm gonna work right now. But should generate all these as well. So the lab values for me. You don't have to worry about anything. It's you know, help with alleviate again, there's a way to verify because the system tells you right here, for example, you know, and verify the values and another Thanks.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Are aware that there is a connection between REDCap and EMR now?
Repeat again, Jackie?
The IT department that deals with Texas Tech EMR, are you aware that you have this connection to? I'm just curious.
This is actually the solution, so I'm not connected to our system right now.
When you are connected, I'll be aware.
Yeah.
I just want to share everything kosher, so that we're able to use this, because this will save people a lot of time. This is good.
Yeah, definitely. I talked to the EMR director, and she wants me to start this. That's why I started doing the simulation. Unfortunately, the simulation, real life, they're different. So I have to work with them, trying to figure out how to make it work, because it's not very trivial. But yeah, the director's aware. They're happy to work with us, and definitely we'll talk to the IRB as well when that's ready to go, so that they're aware, and PIs can the IRB know in their applications or protocols that have been pulled data fields, right, or data points.
Right. No, this is excellent. The only thing I foresee is, I don't know if you know Yvette Quintana Chavez. She is the, I'm sorry?
No, I said yes, I do know.
Yeah, so her department kind of oversees who is looking into EMR, and whether or not they have the proper permissions to look at the objects that they're looking at. So that would be the only conflict. What I would like to remind everyone is just to make sure that you're approved to look at the people that you're looking at, and obtaining data that from the people that you've already consented and put on the study. So we wouldn't want anyone that, for example, let's say someone was disqualified from participating in the study, and you want to put maybe master list on here and just put maybe their name or something. You want to be careful with that. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but yeah, I just ask everyone to be a little careful with this and make sure that you have the proper approvals. But this is excellent.
Right. No, you're right, Jen, and thanks for the insight and joining, because it is important. I mean, tools, but to have approval from some, and it's a great tool, but again, we have use that power of the tool. We adhere to our regulations and hit the regulations.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. That's that. So that's coming. I can tell you that's coming in those 2-3 months, and I'm just going to say that. and that means that just the connection is going to happen with REDCap and EMR. One thing I want to mention real quick, whenever you're developing your in the test environment, it's a good idea to go here on Online Designer, check identifiers. Good idea to do this. So it'll you your instrument and your bearing names and field labels, and then if it's an identifier or not. And let's click here for MR, and let's do study as well. Am I missing anything else, Jackie?
No, this looks fine.
Let's update. It adds another layer of city for identifiers. The other way you can do that, it's when you go to your instrument, in your fields, go to the field, and then you go to identifier here. So that's the way to do it. But it's important that you do this for all identifiers. We want to be as secure as we can and have any breaches for the system, and that's why we keep updating with the newest system, so that we're compliant and we don't have any vulnerabilities. And yes.
Quick question. So once you click them as identifiers, what happens when someone else goes into the system to look at that study, for example? Do they not see the identifiers, or do they have to have special access to see them? Or?
Good. And I'm going to try to answer that as I can. We're answering a survey. So let me go to a survey real fast. This is the survey. So I think this is the survey. Survey. So this is on the internet, right? Well, one production. So let's say we're asking for information, and let's say 12/1/1900 or something like that. That stuff, but so is that if you have the identifiers in your check in your instrument, these fields are going to be encrypted. When you click submit, it's encrypted. So when you click the submit, it goes to our system. That doesn't mean that you're not able to see that. So if we go here, see, and see the name and all that stuff. Which means that the transferring of the data is encrypted. Now, I know where you're going, and this is where the user writes, and that's when we request each PI to let who has access or to what, or should have access to what. So again, this is gonna work here. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay. I'm gonna give you a quick example. So let's say you're a quarter or some that does not need to look at PA data, but you need to see the other data. So we would set up this where maybe you don't need access to the data, or maybe identify or remote identified fields, right? Or whole data set. So you access to those fields that are not tagged as identified field.
That's pretty cool.
Right. Again, it's two different things. When we set that up, it is just that data, it's encrypted. The or when it goes to our server. And this is a way to restrict people data. So I'll give you a real life example. I'm not going to show you data, but I'll show you the permissions. Here, there's people here, for example, cannot export anything. People that can and are able to do so. Here, for the most part, I think these people are promotoras, so they don't capture the data. They just capture it for them. As you see all the way across, I mean, they create this for creating a record, but they cannot rename or delete the record. And all the way across, they don't have access to all that. But access to the calendar, so they can see who's scheduled and all that stuff. They have access to graphical stats, because that's more for administrators. And yeah, you can have access to reports. Again, they can see all those identifiers. And this is a real world. I mean, it's ongoing. As you can see, there's it has 53 reports here. Yeah, pretty huge. Like 2,000 records in here. But how use this work? Questions?
No, but thank you for showing us this real world example. That's helpful.
Awesome. Okay. So I did that. Let's see. Okay. We just and this goes to all users, administrators, regular users. If you guys and you're creating your not them of this variable. So for example, this is not a good example because let me show a world example, I guess. Let's see. Again. It's called a code book, and this we give the statisticians whenever we pull out data and give it to them in order for them to analyze it. Right here, you have the variable name, the field name, right? That first record, which is first record, but the record ID generates. I changed the name to SAC whatever. It's a system generated key. The kind of the name of C and then ID. do sample or a record ID. Not this case, but and what I do is that I do the 2 digits are the year, the name of the study, and the sequence. This helps me for reporting. So that's what I tell you. This is like very important for administrators, and just let it be. This is where you can name it whatever. Because it gives me, reports, and I kept, if they ask me how many patients did we see or we recruit for 2014, so I can, give me and reports on anything like that. So again, like age, try to name them in full. It's easier for biostatisticians to deal with those type of data. Or another thing is that I highly recommend, and I'm going to have Indica next month give us a presentation on how to bring values to data points. Or you have a yes, like an idea to have a radio button or a drop down or that, and sort of logic, just no and yes, and for false and true and false. So important. And I would get the book. A lot of people won't about this, but if you go to project setup right here, let me show you. What do I have here? I have 1, 2, 3, 4 instruments, right? Go to project setup. Sorry, home. And right here, notebook. Name of this. You click here. It's going to view all the for all instruments. For example, here, this is my first instrument, demographics, and it says right here. And it's a variable name, field, and what of the attributes it sets. And all these fields are part of the demographics instrument. Again, another instrument, the vital signs, all this fits right here, are vital signs instrument. So basically, the codebook lists all instruments and all in this case for drop downs or radio buttons or checklists. So for example, whenever I need to give to them, I do the export to Excel. Export. Yeah, it is going to work. Awesome. All right. I think it's a great practice. Because for means will be the last descending, because they do find errors, they do find irregular values. So they do. In this case, I'm gonna name it the same as my project. In this case, it's version 7.0. So version 7.0, or yeah. And then what I do, like 2017, 111. That's today's date. So that. I close it. Project setup. Project home. Good. And with that, I try to print it. And it usually gives me the option to say PDF. So I do like 0.1 book. So when I send the biostatisticians, I send those to Excel and the code book. That way they know which one each variable name or field means. If you have any questions, that's a better way to communicate with them. You work with those code books and all that. What do you think of that? Is that helpful? Is that not helpful?
Yeah, code book is very helpful. Another way, like it's possible, sometimes it's easier for us, like biostatisticians, if we can get the like kind of variables that are like interested in the study. For example, sometimes like if we send the like original data, there will be like 500, 600 variables. So sometimes it's, if we have the code book, sometimes it will be little harder for us to like identify the variables. So if it's easier, like if we can get the like subset of the variables that are like for the study, for the analysis or something. So one thing, but otherwise, like yeah, code book is helpful. So we use the code book to identify the variables.
All right. Thank you much. Another thing, a very important thing that it just came to me. Take time to name your variables correctly, and once it's approved and it's ready for production, we can actually put the project in production status, and I'm going to show you that. Right here, production status, and then the production server. We cannot change the variable names on any of the instruments. Once done, it's done. We need new values or columns, but we cannot change the of the variable. So we can't change this. Please take time to name them correctly, whatever you whatever the field is, or relay field, I guess. I'm good with biostatisticians to see if we can come out with a naming chain for demographics, since we all deal with that, and we can have a web page or something like that. I'll have to email you, Indica, and Dr. Alok, that.
Yeah, really good. Yeah.
So, any questions so far? No. As to finish up, it was the information. It's a new version, like I said in the beginning. Just touching base. Let's see. This is the test environment. It's true, has the same version that production also. So we are on 7.1.0, and production over here. There are URLs, and we are also in 0.1.0. So both systems are to date. They're running. If you find any bugs, please let me know right away. I found a couple bugs, and I reported them to Vanderbilt, and actually pretty good at fixing those. So please let me know. Right. You can send my email here. I think it'll open your Outlook and send me an email. But please, I highly encourage to system, try different things, and let me know if anything looks weird to you. On any of the stuff that we cover, or any concerns that you have, or anything weird that you've seen in the system, or anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just learning, so I'll have more questions in the future. Thank you.
Good.
I have a question, Luis, but it's not like relevant to the presentation. Probably I will ask you later. Right?
Okay, sounds good. Well, if we don't have any questions, I appreciate you attending this meeting, and I'll see you next month.
Thank you much, Luis.
You can have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.